Okay, we're going ahead and start. It's already like 8:04. Okay, let me say it one more time. We're going to go ahead and start. You know, when I say we're going to go ahead and start, that means shut up. Thank you. I've then looked over the tests, and the only thing that bothered me about the test is some of y'all had 60s and 70s, and you only took the test one time. Maybe you're satisfied with a 60 or a 70, but if I was given the chance to take a test 3 times, I think I would shoot for a little bit more than a 60 or a 70. That's my only gripe. Glad I didn't have any dead grandmothers and 5 flat tires, and I forgot to do the test, and so I commend you on that. Thank you. Because I really get sick, very, very sick of those excuses, because all there are excuses. When you have a week or 5 days to take a test, really? But anyway, I appreciate y'all doing that. I just didn't understand why everybody took the test one time. Now, 80 or above, I can understand. You're satisfied with 80 or above. I can understand that. But you make a 60 or 70, and what's going to happen at the end of the semester? You're going to be whining because you want extra what? No, you're not going to get extra credit. And another thing, Mr. Brooks, what did you say about that first test? You think it's going to get easier? No. So just, and I'm not, y'all not the only ones. The other classes, there's a lot of students making 50s. They only took it one time. So I don't understand that. Maybe that's that. I don't know. So anyway, can y'all see my blue screen at home? Give me a thumbs up. Make sure y'all can hear me. Good. All right, I'm gonna minimize y'all. I hate to say that, but I need to minimize y'all so I can work on this screen. All right. One question was sent in, and that question was, let me move that over here. I don't know why it's over there. Okay. And that question was, let me pull it up. Eventually I'll pull it up. You sent another one, Mr. Brooks. Good. All right. Well, let's do it first. 4.117/6. 4.117/6. Now, I may not have went over this. I may have, because remember, I'm teaching 3 classes. So if I don't go over something, you need to say something. All right. Critical value. Write this down. If your R is greater than the critical value, that means there is a correlation. If the R, everybody should be writing, if the R as the letter R, the correlation coefficient, if R is greater than the critical value, you have a strong correlation or a correlation. And you'll see that here in just a second. Because I always go over these questions because students, don't understand them. So this is 4.117/6. 4.117/6. Now, I'm going to move this over to the screen. I'm going to try to make it bigger. When I have those 3 dots, I can make them bigger. So I'm going to make it bigger for y'all. I don't care about what they got under there. All right, here's the question. I'm going to let you write it down because this is a test question. And go ahead and write it. And it's 4.117. And it says for the accompanying data set, draw a scatter diagram, which is pretty simple. You can do that in your calculator or the Excel spreadsheet. By hand, compute the correlation coefficient. You just mark out by hand because you do it with the Excel spreadsheet or the TI. And determine whether there is a relationship between X and Y. Is there a correlation? Now, they're going to give you 2 tables to look at. One of them has critical value. The other one is your data. Okay, so I'm going to move that down. This is the data set. So I want you to, well, let's look at the critical values. Well, let's see how many. Well, since I've made it so big, hold on. How many points do we have? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So n is equal to 5. Write that down because that's what you need to know for your critical value. So you go over to the other table and you go n is equal to 5. You write down this critical value right here, 0.878. So your correlation coefficient, R, has to be greater than that number for it to be a negative correlation or a positive correlation. Well, how do you determine whether it's a negative correlation or a positive correlation? Articulate. I can't understand. I'm going to ask the question again. How can you tell if it's a negative correlation or a positive correlation?
The slope is negative or positive.
The slope is negative or the slope is positive. Okay, that's where you get your critical value, Mr. Brooks. Okay, now you just got to compare it. That's all you got to do is compare it. So let's go back to the table. Somebody write down 0.878 because I won't remember it. I'll try to. And let's go to the Excel spreadsheet. And the reason I'm not using the TI is because the Excel spreadsheet looks better on the screen. Y'all can see it better. And the TI, if I had my calculator at home on the board, you could see it. But there we go. And I think this is it right here. I pulled up another one before class. And there is the table. We'll make it a little bit bigger for y'all so you can see it a little bit better. And let's make it background. Let's make that background a little bit gray so it's not so hard on the eyes. Okay, so I want you to take your calculators or your Excel spreadsheets, whatever you have at your table, whichever you can use. Go ahead and plot those and see if you can find the correlation coefficient or the scatter plot, whichever one you want to, whichever one you can do, go ahead and do it. Now I showed y'all how to do that in the TI and the Excel spreadsheet, so you should be able to do it. And you have a video that you can go back and look at. Oh yeah, that requires y'all to do extra work, doesn't it? Yeah, so that probably y'all wouldn't do it. I actually